Oh, hey everyone. I am pulling up an element that I need for this live stream on my other phone, because you can never have enough phones. Hi, waving back virtually. I'm actually scared to touch the screen at the start of this live stream because of what happened last week. If you were here at the very beginning, you saw I opened it up, checked the connection, not touching a thing. Hi everybody, Jen Coffey. Madam Mim is a couple feet off to my right, and Davender's outside grilling at 8 o'clock because that's what British people do. They eat like at midnight. But anyway, hi to everybody who's checking in, and thank you for coming back. Hopefully you were here with me last week for the first of what I am calling live streams for big dreams. Yes, Food Legal 2023. Let's blame the bad weather. It actually was pretty funky, so let's go ahead and do that. Everything looks great on my end. If it's a little choppy on your end, all I can say is I'm sorry. And for those who might only be here for a couple of minutes, I promise that I will leave this live stream up on my profile. So you just search Jennifer Coffey. It'll be right at the top of my feed, and you can watch it after the fact. But I'm so glad that you're here because I'm going to try to read these comments as they come in real time. Hi to everyone who's checking in, and a special shout out and a hello to my daughter Gabby, who's watching right now as well. So thank you, Gabbers, and I will see you in less than 2 days. So excited. Okay, let's get right to it. So if you saw a few days ago, the whole idea behind this little live stream that I wanted to do this week came from I think it was a Reddit post that I saw online on Tank's Good News. So if you follow Tank's Good News, which I highly recommend, so many like beautiful bits of humanity pop up on there. But it was a recounting of an experience that a doctor or a nurse, I'm not sure, had with a patient who was nearing end of life. And this patient was a woman, and in her final moments, she was just laughing. And she said, unsolicited, she just said, "It was so much fun. I had so much fun." And I couldn't stop thinking about that. Like we think of like the last words that people say, and some of them can be pretty dark, and I understand that. But for someone to look back on their life and say, "It was all so much fun," it breaks my heart a little to think that a lot of people would read that and go, must have been nice, right? And it got me thinking that it can be more of that, but also how important it is to infuse more fun into your life. And it does tie into my passion project, which is manifesting your desires. So my goal each week, and I'm going to try to do it each week that I pop in with you, and it'll just be random thoughts in my head a lot of times, but my goal is to help spread the word to people on how you can do very little things. They seem so little, but they can actually change your life, and they can bring about what it is that you are seeking. If you are seeking a life partner, you're seeking money, abundance, health, a promotion, job, travel, better mood, better outlook on life. And there is one very short word, the word is fun, that if we overlook it, we may find that we're really, really frustrated because what we are trying to manifest in our lives isn't showing up. And I do hear that from a lot of people and a lot of my friends. They're saying, I'm making the vision board, and I'm meditating, and I'm saying the affirmations, and I'm acting as if, and it's not showing up. And first of all, if you're saying those negative words, it's not showing up, you're already setting yourself 10 steps back. But if you're not feeling good as much as possible, and I know it's hard sometimes, we'll talk about that. If you're not feeling good as much as possible, you're pressing the brakes while you're hitting the gas, and you're stuck. You might move a little bit forward, and then you're stuck for a while. So then, of course, the natural response is, okay, that's great. How am I supposed to have fun when I'm not having fun? How am I supposed to have fun and feel good when I'm not feeling my healthiest? How am I supposed to have fun when I hate my job, or it's, it's bill after bill after bill, and I'm just wondering when the money's going to show up, and I'm stressed out and I'm worried. How am I supposed to have fun when I'm not having fun? So I came up with a few little life hacks. Actually, I don't think they're quite so little. They can actually be pretty big. And I'll remind you of this. Last week I had a prompt in the comments to automatically send you the link. But the problem with that is once the live stream's over with, the prompt doesn't work anymore. So wait until we're done with the live stream. Go to the top of my profile and click the link in my bio. And I fixed it so that the very top of it will ask you for your email. If you already gave it to me, you can give it again. It's not going to spam you. And you'll automatically get the cheat sheet, which has a bonus digital gift in it, which we'll discuss in a second. Okay, so how to have fun when we're not having fun. 4 tips. I think the last one is the most important, but I've heard different things from different people that say, they found other things work even better. Okay, first up, if you are a manifester, and if you're here, you are, and technically everybody's a manifester because we do it whether we know we're doing it or not. But if you are a manifester with a goal, if you have a goal, I know this for sure. You are very clear about what you want. You know that you want that promotion. You know that you want that new home or a home. You know that you want a wonderful relationship. You know that you want money. You know what it is that you're focused on, right? I've heard a lot of you tell me in messages over this past week exactly what you want. I'm so proud of you, right? If you have lasered in on that and you know you want it, if I were to say to you, and it's true, what you want is on its way. If you knew for a fact that it was on its way, would it really bother you all that much that you have to do some things right now that you don't really like? If you're in a job right now that you don't like, but it's paying the bills, but you hate it, right? If you went to work that day, tomorrow, and somehow divine intervention came in and told you, I promise it's on the way, hang in there. How would your perspective change at work? How would your perspective change when the kids are hanging all over you and you just wish you had daycare for, an extra day each week? How would you feel if you were stuck in traffic and you're on your way to a meeting that you're just really not jazzed about? If you knew it was coming, would you tolerate it a little bit more? If I told you tonight you've got the winning Powerball numbers, but you have to deal with some really frustrating things today, but tonight the Powerball's coming in, what would your attitude be like? I need you to adopt that attitude now because you are manifesting it. You know what you want. So that whole what if scenario that I just painted is legitimate fact. No, you don't know right now how it's going to show up. No, you don't know right now when it's going to show up. But if you are laser focused and you listen to my ideas, I promise you, it is on the way. And if it's on the way, then the stuff that really isn't all that much fun, you know you're going to be laughing about it later. And I tell you this personally on the other side of that, right? And there are thousands of people who have done the same thing. It's easy to go into that with a very cynical attitude. But if you switch it from a cynical attitude to I know this is coming. If you can put yourself in that mindset just a few times a day, especially when you're a little frustrated, all that stuff that you're kind of worried about seems really small. All right, number 2. And this is the one that you have already heard many times from me, but from a lot of angles. It's become so cliched that a lot of us tend to just, it in one ear, out the other. And it's gratitude. So we know what gratitude is, all right? And we know that we should be in a mindset of gratitude. When you are in the process of manifesting something that you desire, feeling good is the jet fuel for it. Fun, happiness, positivity is the jet fuel to bring it into your life. I promise. Gratitude is the missing link to get you to fun, to get you to a better attitude. So if we're stuck in traffic and somebody just cut us off and it's this one more thing that's going to turn me into full-on road rage, right? Freeze and do what is called a gratitude snapshot. So it isn't just, I'm grateful that I'm alive right now. It's more than that. It's 10 things. Can I come up with 10 things? I've got my hands on a steering wheel right now on a functioning vehicle that has gasoline in it that's going to get me from A to Z, which is a lot more than millions of people have right now. I have a destination that I'm going to. And what is the destination? The grocery store, where you have enough money to buy yourself food? Is it to the doctor's office, where you have the health care that you need to get better? Are you in the car on your way to go visit somebody that you love? Are you grateful for that? Take a look around you. What's the weather like? Are you grateful that it isn't pouring down rain and that you are safe in this moment right now? How about the fact that you're able to sit in a vehicle and have clear thoughts and call up memories that make you feel better? Your heart is beating, your limbs are moving, you have water to drink, you have food to eat, you have a destination. And I'm pretty sure I already exceeded 10 gratitudes. You have probably a lot bigger ones than that, I just don't know what they are. All right, you're in the doctor's office and they kept you waiting for 45 minutes and it's all you can do to bust down the door and demand to be seen. You're in a doctor's office to begin with. Even if you're sick, you're there to be on your way to get better. Maybe somebody drove you there, somebody that you really love. The fact that you're on a phone right now and could afford to have it and are watching this and have the kind of attitude to want to get better. There are so many intangible gratitudes that I can actually pull out right now and I don't even know you. And I know that you have so many more. And if you can take those gratitude snapshots multiple times a day, and especially before you go to bed, like we talked about last week, if you can take those gratitude snapshots, all of a sudden, again, it doesn't take away the fact that you're stuck in traffic, but it changes the mindset. And if you realize that every time you take a gratitude snapshot, you move the needle closer to the goal that you want, it becomes addictive and fun. Okay, number 3. And this is the one that's going to come with a little bit of a warning, all right? The download that I'm offering to you guys at the top of my profile has a little something called my empowerment playlist. Okay. Whether you listen to it or do anything with it or not, number 3 is to build your empowerment playlist. I'm pretty sure you have either Spotify or Apple Music or even a CD that you can burn, right? You have music, you have access to it. If you do not already have a playlist of, I'm going to say 50 songs, do as many as you can. If you don't have a playlist right now of songs that make you feel, pardon my language, like a badass, it is time for you to make that list right now, all right? Maybe you already have one kind of going because you listen to it when you work out. Maybe you already have one kind of going because you tapped all of those liked songs on Spotify. They're probably in a million different places. I want you to take a little bit of time. Yay, Jody Farrell has my Christmas playlist. That's coming in December. But if you don't already have, and you can call it what you want, right? I call it the empowerment playlist. My daughter Gabby, who's watching, she has one as well. We actually kind of collaborated to put this one together. Think of songs that make you feel like you're on top of the world. The songs that make you sing in the shower, you know, when you sound really good. The songs that, if you need a little more motivation when you're working out, you listen to. They could be songs from your childhood, your teenage years, your college years, from yesterday. Now, I have included my empowerment playlist in the download. It has a lot of swear words in it, all right? So I'm saying that right now. I'm going to be emailing it to all the people who sent me their email addresses today. And if you do not like profanity in your music, please delete it immediately, okay? You can write me back and tell me I'm a bad girl. That's fine. I like to listen to music, and sometimes it has naughty words in it, okay? But anyway, and I will tell you this right now, you're probably going to hate half the songs that are on it because they're songs I like. And maybe you're a country fan. I am very much not. Put together your playlist of country music, whatever it is that makes you go, man, life is good. And if you can get it up to 8 hours, you've got a whole work day. Play it in the background, as long as you're not in a meeting and there's swear words in it. And listen to those songs. When every single one is a banger, you cannot not have fun. In the car, when you're in the, I love that you guys are laughing at that. There's always going to be somebody, and listen, I'm not disrespecting anybody who wants to keep their music clean. I just don't want anybody slapping my wrist. Okay. Play that when you're in a funky mood. Play it when you feel, play it when you're pissed off. Play it and you'll get really good at figuring out. If you practice this, you'll get real good at figuring out when you're not feeling it. And it'll feel awful. You want to turn it the other way right away, because you remember, when you feel good, you're bringing what you want to you, okay? And Maureen, I will answer again at the end of this how to get the playlist, how to get the tips and everything, okay? I promise I've made it super easy this time. Okay, that's 3. Number 4. And I'm so excited about this one because it's my favorite. And Gabby, she's watching, she knows it's my favorite too, okay? I know that you're good at this already because you used to do it when you were a kid. I know you're good at this already because you actually probably had to do quite a bit of it in school and maybe even in work, right? It's also very, very possible that you have not done it in a really long time. And I don't like that. I don't like that so many of us have not done it. I went probably 20 years between the age of like 12 and 13 and 33. And I didn't do it for over 20 years. And when I started doing it again, my whole life changed. And it's playing pretend. Now, this is a little bit different from fake it till you make it. It's even more ridiculous, if you will. It is truly pretending to be who you want to be. Let me put it in perspective. When I had sold my businesses in my early 30s because I was going out of business post-recession, and I was trying to bridge the gap between careers, I knew that I wanted to work in television, but I really didn't have any experience in television. It was just something that I really wanted to do. And I was starting to self-educate about the law of attraction and manifestation. And I realized that if I wanted this bad enough, and if I wanted to bring it to me quick enough, I was going to have to live my life as though I was in television. And I thought about, well, okay, what does that mean, right? Well, if I had a job in television, I probably had to wake up at a logical, decent hour. And depending on the job, it would have even been like 4 in the morning, and it ended up being 4 in the morning. But I thought, let me wake up when I think a morning anchor might wake up, and get dressed and put my makeup on as though I were going to be on television. And let me, when I go out and about at the time in San Antonio, I'm going to go out and about, and mentally I'm going to pretend like the people in San Antonio know me because I'm on the morning show, right? And I went through my whole day pretending in my head that I was a television personality. And I would go to the grocery store and just look around at people and kind of pretend like they were making eye contact with me because they were like, is that Jennifer Coffey from the morning show, right? I didn't know at the time it was going to end up being QVC. It doesn't matter. If you are, for example, and I'm using the job example because that was my first foray into manifestation. If you're trying to get a promotion or you're trying to get a job that is different from the one that you have, you still have to go to the job that you have now, right? So you don't starve. But what are the little things that you can do in your existing job, even if it's all up in here, to pretend like you are the person you are trying to be, all right? So if you are, you're a legal assistant and you want to be a lawyer, actually, that should be really easy, actually, because you're mired in it right now, right? How would you sit differently if you had that job, that really important job that you want? Because I'm guessing you'd sit a little bit taller, right? And when your phone rings, can you pretend for a second that your assistant calling to let you know that you have a meeting you have to be to in 5 minutes. It's a mental shift. And all of a sudden, when the phone's ringing and it's some pissed off customer who wants to yap at you about something that they're upset about instead of your assistant, for a fraction of a second, it's your assistant calling. And it starts to get really, really fun. So much so that you'll actually want to start telling your friends that you're doing the same thing. I told Gabby, I'm just going to walk around and pretend like I'm a QVC host until I get the QVC job, all right? It's so stinking fun. And because you're doing it in here, you don't have to worry about what other people think. And to be honest, at this point, who cares, right? But until you get to that point, play pretend. Go to bed tonight. Remember we talked about our bedtime manifestation. And think about, well, if tomorrow I have my perfect partner, how would I dress tomorrow knowing I was going to see them? You can dress that way. It's not like you're wearing a costume. Start to think now about what it is that you want. You want $100,000 in your bank account, and right now it's really low. Okay, well, tomorrow you're not going to go and hit the mall up and spend $100,000. I doubt you would do that even if you had the $100,000. But if you wake up tomorrow and go, I have $100,000 in the bank, how does that make me feel? Already your mood is changing, right? And if you do walk into the mall, can you look around and go, I can afford that. That's pretty cool. You didn't buy it, but you're thinking about how you could afford it if you felt like it. Mental shift. Play pretend. You used to do it when you were a kid, and it was so much fun. But now that you're older and wiser, it's actually going to start making legitimate magic happen. All right, 4 ways to bring a little bit more fun in. We're going to laser focus on what we want, and we're going to assume that it's coming so that we'll stop stressing in the moment. Number 2, we're going to take those gratitude snapshots. It's okay if you can't get to 10, shoot for 3 right now. Number 3, we're going to make our empowerment playlist with swear words or not, okay? And number 4, we're going to play pretend. So if you go to, once I close out this live stream, go to my profile, Jennifer Coffey, on Instagram, okay? And at the top, there is a link in my bio. It'll have the word pillar in it. Click that link, and right at the top, it says, Get Jen's Cheat Sheet. It'll ask for your email, and then it's going to send it right to you. And within that email, it will have a link to the empowerment playlist, all right? And let me know if you like them. If you don't like them, it's okay. I'm not offended because we all have different music tastes, right? But if you find 5 or 6 songs in there that you kind of go, okay, I'm feeling it, then my work here is done. Okay, so I did try to scroll through, or at least look at what everybody was saying. And I did want to go back to a couple that I did see. One of which is, I see people putting their email addresses in this chat. That's not going to help because I'm not aggregating those from here. So go to the top of my profile, click the link, and you'll get everything that you need. Sparkland says, as a beginner in manifestation and law of attraction, can you recommend any books? I'm going to give you 2. One of them is real obvious. It's the one that got me started on everything, and it's called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I actually prefer the audiobook if you have access to that, because it, it evokes a lot more emotion to me, which is very key to all of this. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, Byrne. And the other one is Manifesting Your Desires by Wayne Dyer. And really any book by Dr. Wayne Dyer will help out too. And there are a lot of other publications that have a little bit more obscure language because they're a little bit older. That's actually a good idea, is to put together a little reading list for you. But if you do nothing else, read The Secret, and that's kind of like Law of Attraction 101. I am absolutely delighted that I look up and I still see 175 people here. That makes me almost tear up. It fills my heart with joy. And if you want to direct message me with any questions, I'm happy to do so. And I am going to give a quick plug to our group Italy trip. There are 2 spots that were hung at 2 spots that have been remaining. And I've been talking to a couple of people who said they're still thinking about it. And please take your time because it's a big investment. But there are 2 spots remaining. So If you need information on the Italy trip, it's actually in the same link that you're going to use to get the cheat sheet, or you can direct message me. I truly love you all, and I can't thank you enough for joining me. I'll try to do it again next week. Actually, I'm going to be in Colorado in a couple of days. And my goal is to do maybe a couple of live meditations in the mountains, so I'd love to see you for that too. Hugs and kisses to all of you. Thank you so much, and sweet dreams.